Just like always, we are live here in my basement. Some of us.
Surprise.
Will, can you explain?
Well, one of us has pink eye, and I'll give you a hint.
Yeah, let them guess. We should just never we should never tell them. You guys will have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Look closely.
Don't look at my blue sky or my threads.
Oh, okay.
Take our word for it. One of us has pink eye.
Oh, but we couldn't stop the show because we have so much exciting news.
No, yes. Show must go on.
We got why is this at the top? We got the Switch 2 pre-orders just happened. We gotta talk about those.
Yes, that was the big thing. Really the only big thing that happened this week. We have some other things to talk about, of course. Did Capcom tease Resident Evil 9? An old game is still the most popular game on Switch. How is Indiana Jones doing on PlayStation 5? And so much more.
And so much more. But first, hey, we got some free games again.
We did. Ladies and
gentlemen, not even the beginning of the month yet.
No, but Nintendo likes to sometimes be a little bit wacky, a little bit mischievous, and offer you mischievous. One of us has pink eye, so it's messing up both of us.
Can I put the chat here? Is gonna work?
Every once in a while, Nintendo will let you try out games in their entirety for free, so long as you are subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. And starting tomorrow tomorrow, April 30th to May 6th, you can play Star Wars Bounty Hunter or Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles on the Nintendo Switch.
Jedi Power Battles?
Yep. That just came out too.
Okay, what was Jedi Power Battles originally for?
PS1 and Dreamcast.
Oh. Was it also on Game Boy Advance?
It was on Game Boy Advance. We had the Game Boy Advance.
That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about.
This is not the Game Boy Advance version.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Also, I never played Star Wars Bounty Hunter. And I know a lot of people are into that. So this is a good opportunity to give that a try.
Yeah. Either game you have tomorrow until May 6th. This is obviously for May the 4th.
Obviously. I mean, if you didn't know that, you'd be an idiot, right?
Yeah. You cretins.
Okay, cool. So if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you get 2 whole games.
Yeah.
And they're retro games, but they're not Nintendo Switch Online games.
Correct.
Pretty cool.
I mean, they've done this with newer games, and these are technically newer releases of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're old games.
Okay, cool. So check that out.
YouTube not live. That's a Will problem.
Is it a Will problem?
For some reason, every time I switch Windows, the YouTube stream stops being live for some reason.
I have an issue where YouTube will, if I'm watching a live stream on YouTube, well, particularly my own live stream on YouTube, it will just crash. YouTube, the window will just crash itself. So YouTube live streaming on Chrome for some reason, not the best. Anyway, I have a notification. Oh, hello, Wood. Thank you for the 52 months. How are you doing?
Hey.
Where am I? I want to thank people. Where's my if you haven't noticed, everything's a little different. My whole world is turned upside down.
Yes, this is what happens when we throw a monkey wrench in the system.
Dashboard. Event list. Okay. Here we go. Andre Monchino. Holy shit. Thanks for the 2 months. Okay? Jeffrey Sorensen, thanks for the 44 months. Hey, hello. Last Colossi, thanks for the 13 months. I'm actually early to a stream for once. Hello. Well, sorry we were late. We were doing a couple things. before we even talk about the main story, which was the Switch 2 pre-orders and how much they're selling and whatever, I want to tell you about how I got tariffed for the first time.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you because we haven't spoken about your Switch 2 pre-ordering situation. Please tell me all about it.
Oh, that's not even what I'm referring to.
Oh, that's not.
No,
that's not.
So last week and the previous weeks I've been talking about how I have yet to see a fee for these tariffs that are looming overhead. I even ordered a bunch of PCBs, and here they are. I've been ordering them for like every other week. I'm ordering PCBs. I ordered a bunch last week. And I even mentioned how I didn't get tariffed or anything. I ordered 25 and it cost me $50 for 25. So 1 week later, I went to do the same order. It was a bigger quantity, but for the sake of comparison, I'll give you the quantity, apples to apples. 1 week later, the same order went from $50 to $125. And it is directly because of the tariffs. It even says duties and fees. So today I went, unfortunately, I don't need 25. I need 250. So the actual tariff was over $300. So, just for the sake of seeing what would happen, I found a U.S. Distributor of PCBs. It's called DigiKey is the one that I found. They have a U.S. supplier that you can get things that are guaranteed to be from the U.S. And I checked that out, and for 25, it was $300. So for 25 PCBs, 2 weeks ago, it was $50. Yeah. Then it went up to $125. If I want to get it from the US, it's $300.
Right.
So I just have to pay the tariff.
Right.
Who is this helping?
Well, clearly, Bob, you don't understand. We're winning.
We're winning. It's good for small businesses.
We're winning.
What am I supposed to do? Open my own PCB manufacturer?
Clearly, you know, if you love this country, if you love America, you will open up your own PCB manufacturing.
All this is doing is helping the big guys because the big guys can open their own PCB manufacturer. I can't do that.
Not with that attitude.
It doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense. And again, the only thing that I can do, the smartest thing to do here, is to just pay the tariff. So the only one winning here is the government. It's fucked. It's fucked. PCB Way is the best way. This is all from PCB Way. I did order them from PCB Way.
I'm only 2 episodes into Andor right now, but I think the solution to the problem is to steal the equivalent of a TIE fighter. So I think you need to steal a fighter jet from the U.S. Navy.
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to help, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun while you do it.
It sounds right. I'm going to get a knock on my door tomorrow. All right. Anyway, that was my tariff rant. We're not going to be done with that. No. I'm sure there's going to be more to come. I would love an explanation on how this is going to help me. Anybody, because I'm fucking riled up and I'm ready to physically assault anybody in chat who has anything to fucking say about it.
Well, we got 4 years to figure this out. So,
Switch 2 pre-orders. I got one.
Yeah. Okay. So you got one. Where'd you get it from?
Best Buy, and I still don't know if my account on Best Buy is mine or yours. Because it says Will when I log in.
So I think it's yours, but for some reason it's my card.
Yeah,
like
you had a membership card, but I don't know. You even still have a membership card?
No, I still do. I never shop at Best Buy anymore.
Oh, okay.
But the weirdest thing...
I'm ranking up your points because I get like the Lenovo Legion Go from there. I did a Best Buy sponsorship and they made me buy my own stuff. So that was also on your account.
Well, the weirdest thing about it is someone else's phone number is tied to my account. Like, not just my phone number, someone else's random ass phone number
And it's not
is
mine.
tied to my account, and it's not yours.
Okay. Well, that's scary.
And I asked the teenager about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that happens."
That's not good.
So
That's
I know.
a massive issue.
Yes.
Well, now I
So-
don't want to use your account anymore.
No, use it. Keep using it.
Well, anyway.
But anyway, so you got it from Best Buy.
I got it from Best Buy, baby.
Right.
Oh, I guess you want to hear the story. So the pre-orders went live. What was it? Last Wednesday night at midnight. So Thursday morning at midnight. Pre-orders went live. I live streamed it over on Twitch on the channel that we're streaming this on. You could still watch the VOD. It'll be up for like another 30 days or so. It was a massive shit show. It took an hour and a half for the website to work. And then finally, I just miraculously, it just appeared in my cart. So people were trying from, you had Walmart, Best Buy, and was that it?
Walmart, Best Buy,
Target. Walmart, Best Buy, Target.
And then GameStop was the next morning.
Yeah. So unfortunately, only Best Buy confirmed midnight launches. So I wanted to get it from Best Buy. And if I didn't get it from Best Buy, I would just try to get it from GameStop the next morning, because GameStop also confirmed midnight launches. But of the Walmart, Target, Best Buy, only Best Buy confirmed midnight launches. Walmart, some of them are 24 hours, but I think that they wouldn't release them until 9 o'clock the next day for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
On the website, the pre-orders went live at midnight.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, when you went to go pick it up, you might not even be able to pick it up at midnight.
Right.
So
I know.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know GameStop was the only store that was allowing people to pre-order in person.
Yes.
And because that's how, Wood got his that way. And I've seen a lot of people saying like that was actually the easiest and best way to do it.
So it seems like the general the general consensus was that GameStop in person was relatively smooth. However, there were some cases where it was also a bit of a shit show, and I'm sure we'll get into that.
Right.
But yeah, so Walmart seems to be the most the easiest and the one that worked the best. They had like a digital queue, you can just click on it, and their website seemed to work just fine, and people got theirs from Walmart pretty early. I didn't want to go to Walmart because they wouldn't have it at midnight. You can text Best Buy, and I confirmed with them that our local one here would have a midnight launch, so I knew where I wanted to get it from. Target also wasn't going to have a midnight launch. Target was rejecting people. They would say that it's confirmed and then refund them, and that happened to Wood. He got one from Target, and then they rejected him and gave him his money back, and that happened to a lot of people. It got like flagged as fraud or something. So Target was a huge L for a lot of people. Best Buy, not many people got it confirmed from Best Buy. Some people waited in the virtual queue and then got kicked out. Some people were doing the whole hour and a half I was waiting to get mine, people in the chat were like, open a new tab, do this, do it on your phone, get it from Walmart. So I just stood there in my queue and just with my hands behind my head, and I waited. And then eventually it just worked. And I got kind of lucky, because if that didn't happen, I would just have to go to GameStop the next morning. And I did not want to leave the house. I probably wouldn't have left the house. I probably would have tried to do it digitally on GameStop. And I haven't even heard of anybody doing that. Like, I don't even know if that would have worked. But anyway, I got it. It's the Mario Kart bundle.
Hooray.
So GameStop seemed to be fine too. Do we want to read this article or anything? Is there anything?
This is from Engadget. Nintendo may not have enough Switch 2 consoles for everyone, it seems. It's struggling to meet demand in both Japan and the US, where pre-orders were already delayed due to the tariff fiasco. Official release date for the console, June 5th, remains unchanged. However, if you signed up ahead of time on Nintendo's website, you may have received an email granting you access to a place your you may have received an email granting you access to place your order through Nintendo. The company recently emailed users to inform them it has noted very high demand for the console, so your invitation email may arrive after the Switch 2 launch, scheduled for June 5th. Basically, your chance to pre order might happen after the console has already gone live for sale. In Japan, when Nintendo offered the chance to register your interest in purchasing a Switch 2, 2.2 million people applied. That's more than 2% of the country's population. So basically, so many people were signing up through Nintendo's website that Nintendo is basically saying, like, hey, you're not going to get yours at launch. You're going to have to wait.
Yeah, that sucks. I think they changed the
That's done.
language on the American site too to say that.
Probably, yeah.
That is awful. I mean, I don't know who wants it at launch and is relying on Nintendo, because they have their lottery system and they haven't even announced who's going to be able to pick it up until and we already have the pre-orders from retailers. So they even say the Nintendo was like, just use the retailers, and it's like, all right, well, it's a little too late now.
Yeah.
The retailers already went up for pre-order. I would imagine I would imagine it's not all for nothing. I think that other retailers will start to pop up. We've seen in the past, like with PlayStation 5, sometimes they just randomly have more in stock or go up for pre-order again, like randomly. So that could happen. So if you missed one, if you missed getting yours, keep your eyes open for like Wario64's Twitter, or there's like nowinstock.net or some shit. Zoolert is another one. Keep your eyes open and you'll eventually find a Switch 2 that you might be able to get at launch.
Yeah. But having said that, don't get your hopes up for Amazon to have it in stock.
I'm getting my hopes up for Amazon. I kept saying during the live stream that I am going to try Amazon when it goes up on Amazon. I was like, no, it's not going to go up on Amazon. I was like, I think that it might.
Well, per the article from IGN, Amazon is the one retailer that so far has not put the Switch 2 up for sale for pre-order officially. Even now, as all the other retailers are running out of stock, Amazon is showing no sign at all that the console or the Mario Kart World bundle will eventually become available. At this point in the game, it's starting to seem like it maybe won't be selling Nintendo's newest console at any time soon. However, there are some signs that the Switch 2 will eventually become available there. First up is the fact that Amazon UK already had a batch of pre-orders back in early April. Of course, it has already completely sold out, but it's a positive sign that pre-order listings could eventually arrive in the US. The second positive sign is that while Amazon doesn't have any console or a Switch 2 accessory pre-orders available, it does have some game listings such as Daemon X Machina and Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar.
So I'd also like to point out, this isn't going to work. They have a Nintendo Switch 2 page, but it's just third-party games right now. So they don't have a listing for the Switch 2 at all, or first-party accessories or first-party games. It's just third-party stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's Daemon X Machina and Story of Seasons. Those are third-party games.
Yeah, which is scary. It's. I mean, I would imagine that they would go up eventually, but maybe after launch. I mean, most likely after launch. But I remember seeing randomly like the OLED Switch go up and like shit. Like the reason why Amazon has a bad relationship with Nintendo is because they would just ship out games early and not abide by the street date, or things would accidentally just slip out. So I think that there is still a possibility that might happen, but
yeah, I don't think it's going to be on Amazon anytime soon. At least not before release. Probably after release, but Not
Yeah.
anytime soon.
I think that Nintendo is playing this really close to the chest. They don't even want. There are still some third-party developers that don't have dev kits.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I don't think this thing's gonna be leaked or anything. But
No.
Amazon is Amazon, and I think that they might get their hands on it eventually.
Mhm.
I don't think they're just gonna stop Amazon from having it entirely.
No, I mean you can't. But
Yeah. But even without Amazon, they're doing just fine. They did 1 million pre-orders. So
clearly,
I don't think it's a big deal. I guess we will mention the issue with GameStop. We didn't really what is this? Source from GameStop themselves. What are you talking about, Rytos?
pre-orders for Switch 2 online have sold out at GameStop. They are still available in store.
Oh, okay. That was day of.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the reasons GameStop was a bit of a shit show was because they had some stores, specifically the one in Astoria, required you to buy really expensive bundles if you wanted to pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2. They were basically trying to capitalize on the hype of the Nintendo Switch 2 by extorting people that were waiting in line for hours. This is not something that's necessarily new to GameStop. When I worked there, they did this for like PlayStation 3 and 4 bundles.
I remember when the PlayStation 2 came out, that was the only way to get one, was you had to buy like a $500 bundle.
Yeah, so this is something that is usually, it's like incentivized, like GameStop corporate is like, this is a way to like, you know, get a lot more money, get a higher attach rate for the system and stuff. So it's corporate's fault that these stores are doing this. Also, the district managers will like, you know, incentivize the managers to set up these sorts of systems. My store just said no. My store was like, we're not doing that. We're going to try to sell as many as we can without that, you know? Because it's obviously it's fucked up, but I guess the one in Astoria was like, no, I guess we'll go along with it. We know about this because our buddy E went to the Astoria location, and he has a little video on his Twitter and his TikTok where they basically make him spend $900. He got a bunch of shit attached to it that he doesn't need. And he also videoed other people in line saying that they were spending like $700 on their consoles as well.
What is in this bundle? That is it's obviously the system.
It's literally just random bundle? Shit. Screen protector, Pro controller.
So scam,
you know,
basically.
It's scam. Yeah, it's all this random. One of the things is the GameStop micro SD card. That's 1 terabyte. I cannot stress enough how you should not buy the 1 terabyte from GameStop, because store branded micro SD cards are usually pretty terrible, and there's no information about these micro SD express cards. So the one from GameStop, probably a piece of shit. So don't spend hundreds of dollars on this micro SD card from a company that's never made a micro SD card before in their lives. But GameStop responded to E. E said, so this GameStop is forcing you to buy bundles, cases, screen protectors, etc. They're claiming they can't process the SKUs just for the console, but we all know what's going on here. So my store in particular would just move the SKU around, but it's sort of a way for corporate to like force you to sell the bundles. Personally, I want Donkey Kong and a screen protector, so it isn't a big deal. Others are leaving. I mean, you didn't want $900. Well, that's not $900 worth of shit.
No. Absolutely not.
And then GameStop said, we are actively investigating this. This customer who was turned away at the Astoria location should reach out via DM so we can make it right. I mean, he's literally right there. You're talking directly to him, first of all. Second of all, it is your fault. It is the corporate's fault that this happened. These poor people that work at this store are going to get fired or reprimanded because of decisions that corporate made.
Right.
It's fucking stupid. So
yeah,
for the most part, pre-ordering from GameStop seemed to be pretty decent. They seemed to have enough for everybody that was waiting in line. However, I don't want to give them too much credit because of that bullshit. And I'm sure that happened at a lot of other locations. RGT85, for example, couldn't get one. I don't know why. I think also She Says Boundary Break couldn't get one for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't wait online long enough. I don't know. But from my understanding is everybody wanted one from GameStop seemed to have gotten one with few exceptions. And then there's people like you had to pay $1 million. So it was a little bit of a shit show getting a Nintendo Switch 2. I hope that everybody who wanted one was able to get one. If you haven't, there's plenty of ways to get it. Follow Wario64 on Twitter. Follow Jake Randall. His whole gimmick, his whole niche is buying consoles. So this is like the Super Bowl for him. And that's it, I guess. And I guess Zoolert and friggin' nowinstock.com. And there's plenty of resources. And if you really try hard enough, you will get your hands on one. And good luck to everybody. Uber Yoshi, thanks for the 10 months. And that's it. My experience pre-ordering Expedition 33 was no problem. Okay. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
The bundles have been like that forever. GameStop don't get any profit of just the console. They make the money on third-party stuff. Yeah. No, they've always done that.
And it's always like the bad third-party stuff. Like it's not a Nintendo Pro controller. It's like a GameStop branded Pro controller and shit like that.
Like a screen protector and shit.
Yeah.
The GameStop branded one. Oh, and their warranties. They do try to force their warranties down everybody's throat.
Of course. Can't offer a subscription to Game Informer anymore. Whose fault is that?
Yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. GameStop is a company that should have gone out of business years ago, but somehow by the grace of God and meme stocks, it is still alive. And that's just wrong.
Yeah, I don't understand how it lasted so long, even with that, like before the meme stock. The meme stock makes it make a little more sense, but
I mean, I'm pretty sure like it was going to die in 2021 had it not been for the meme stock. And it's just been riding that ever since.
Yeah. Maybe we made a mistake.
Yeah. Humanity was a mistake.
Oh, I put this article here. It's somewhat related.
Yeah.
I put this here and I put it as a Reddit post because I want the links. Nintendo Switch 2 predicted to be the biggest console launch in gaming history. We kind of touched on it a little bit. But the interesting thing is these memes that are on the bottom. This is a reminder of when people were trying to boycott Modern Warfare 2. And this is this is the Steam group for members who were of the Boycott Modern Warfare 2 Steam group, and they're all playing the game on launch. These are all the people playing it.
One guy's playing Football Manager 2010.
Oh, okay. I see that. There were other good ones here. Sony announces 5 million unrecorded PS2 sales found. And that's it, really, I guess. But yeah, I think we already talked about it, how it's probably going to be the biggest console launch of all time. What could be bigger? Launch.
I don't know. Like
I don't
launch.
I wouldn't have expected the Switch 2 to meet Switch 1 sales because the Switch 1 just sold so much. But in terms of initial console launches, I think that it is going to be potentially the biggest.
So I'm old enough to remember when the Dreamcast launched. There was a lot of hay made about how it made more money in a day than the Phantom Menace did in its first day in theaters. And the Phantom Menace was like the highest grossing movie of the year.
Yeah.
But then, immediately after the Dreamcast came out, came the PlayStation 2. And that like eclipsed that. So biggest console launch in history is always going to be like the latest system, you know, maybe not necessarily the PlayStation 6, but it's always going to like, there's always going to be something that's going to like eclipse that record because more and more people are buying video games. More and more people are aware of video games and have the ability to go out and buy their own video game systems. I think for the Switch in particular, there's so much hype around it because it's been like almost a decade since the last one, and people are ready for the next step in it in the evolution of the Switch, you know?
That's true. I mean, I would say people are gonna be buying the next Xbox. Like that I don't think is gonna be breaking any records. But you're right. I think the PlayStation 6 could potentially break some big records. I think that the Switch 1 drummed up so much hype for the Switch 2, and that's why we're seeing such big numbers. The Switch 1 really didn't sell that many in its first year. I mean, it sold a lot, but like,
yeah, it was successful, but not like record breaking.
Wasn't it under? It was like under 10 mil the first year. Yeah, which is like considering really low because it sold 150. This one seems to it's gonna break that in a day.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, it will probably be the biggest console launch in history, and then it will be eclipsed when more people populate the Earth.
Yeah. Good for them.
Good for them. Next news. Oh. Wait. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
What?
Oh, shit. Backlog! Hi guys, welcome to the Backlog. Will.
Backlog is a segment of WULFF DEN Podcast where we go through our entire video game collection of it's a lot. 982 games. We go through our entire video game collection of 982 games, pick one at random and talk about it, regardless of whether or not we've played it.
514.
514. And that brings us to Mega Man X6 for the original PlayStation.
Never played it.
Thank you for watching the Backlog, everybody.
So I got this from GameStop for some reason, I think. This was one of those games that... So wait, original PlayStation?
Yes.
So I worked at GameStop after they were done selling original PlayStation games.
Yeah.
So I think this was just left in a drawer. Like, not in the system or anything, completely unaccounted for. So I just stole it from GameStop, and that's why we have it. That being said, I really like Mega Man X. The original Mega Man X is one of my favorite games of all time. I haven't played much Mega Man X after that, after the first one.
Yeah.
It is, I think, the best SNES game. I think it's it might be my favorite. I think it is the best. And I'm sure this is great. I've been trying throughout the years to work my way through all the Mega Man X games. I've made it all the way to the end of 2, and that's as far as I got.
Per Wikipedia, critically, Mega Man X6 has received mixed reviews for its recycled narrative and high difficulty derived from poor level design, and is frequently regarded by fans as among the worst games in the franchise.
Okay, so we shouldn't have this game. Mega Man 4, X4 is regarded as the best, I think.
That I know is considered one of the good ones.
X1 is amazing. X2 is good. X3 is like a B team that made it, and then X4 is the good one.
Right. And then
as far as I know.
X5, Keiji Inafune, the series producer, intended 5 to be the end of the series. So he did not work on 6. So I think 6 was also a B team. I'm trying to... All right, no, 5 was the one where they named all the bosses after Guns N' Roses band members. So, yeah, I don't think 6 is noteworthy in any real way. I'm on its Wikipedia page. I'm trying to look for something that, like, like, what is this game remembered for? Like, is there anything about it that like people revere or memify or something? And I don't think this has anything.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
After this was 7 and 8. People hated those as well. They tried to transition into 3D a little bit. I actually kind of like them in a weird sort of like Sonic Adventure kind of way, where they're like janky and weird, but I like it for how like edgy and cool it is.
Yeah.
So maybe what I gotta do is make it to Mega Man X4. Or you're saying 5 was supposed to be the end. Maybe I gotta make it all the way to that and then call it a day.
Maybe.
The version we have of this is like the back of the jewel case and the CD, and then that's it. It's like
we don't have the, because I've seen this cover art like a million times.
Okay, I think we have the booklet. I think we have the booklet, but we had to get a new jewel case because it was smashed all the way at the bottom of a drawer at GameStop. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So why do we have this game? I stole it, and I thought it'd be cool. We don't even own a. Do we own a PlayStation 1?
No, we would play any PS1 game we had. We played on the PS2.
Yeah, so we didn't even ever own a PlayStation 1. So I guess don't play this game. I guess play up to X5 and then call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, it's available on modern systems as part of the Mega Man X Legacy Collection Volume 2. So if you're a completionist, sure, why not? Otherwise, don't. Just don't.
Just don't.
It's okay. It's okay to not play a video game. It is okay.
And thank you, Will, because I'm not. Thanks for watching the backlog. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Sometimes that's how the backlog goes sometimes, man. Sometimes big game. Hey, ain't you never bought a game that you never played?
A buddy of mine, he's not really a gamer. He has a Switch. He says, like, he always brings up, like, I bought Breath of the Wild a year ago and haven't touched it yet. And I'm just like, that's it? Just the one game? You need at least 5 bought games but not played before you consider yourself a real gamer, man.
Steam is dangerous. I try really hard not to purchase a game until I'm ready to download it.
Yeah, I'm bad at that. Like right now, I don't know if you've seen, but on Humble, they have like the modern Doom and Wolfenstein games for like $30, including all the DLC. And I'm like, oh God, I want that. I haven't played the Doom Eternal DLC, but that's a really good deal.
If you're gonna play it, but
I one of these days
only buy these games if you're gonna play it. Anyway, next news. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, because guess what? Still the most popular game on Twitch. Grand Theft Auto 5 remains. Yes, it remains the top streamed game on Twitch. Broadcasters streamed more than 25.8 million hours of GTA 5 in 2024, and viewers clocked in 1.4 billion hours watched across all audiences, per a news release published by Twitch on Thursday. GTA 5 was the top gaming category in 2023, second overall to the just chatting category. It remained among the top games watched each year, especially as GTA Online role-playing became more and more popular on the platform. It's also likely the hype for GTA 6 has kept GTA 5 among the top spots. Rockstar Games gave eager fans a look at GTA 6 teaser trailer last 2023 in what's expected to be the biggest launch of the year. GTA 6 is expected to release in the fall of 2025. There's no release date yet. However, instead, people continue to play and watch GTA 5, thus the huge numbers.
I don't ever see anybody stream this. So, I mean...
Really?
Grand Theft Auto, I thought this was of all time because I could see that like when like back in the day, the hype of Grand Theft Auto 5 or when it came out on when it got relaunched on like PlayStation 5 and stuff.
Yeah.
Or when online launched or whatever, I could see that being huge on Twitch, and the role playing like revitalized Grand Theft Auto 5 like a lot. But I
Yeah.
haven't seen many people do it lately. But I guess that there still are a lot of people who do. It is
Yeah.
the role playing that makes it as big as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is another situation. This is like Switch to Switch 2 situation where, you know, the hype for the next one is so high because we haven't gotten it in so long
Yeah.
that the anticipation is like at fever pitch. And I think people are satiating themselves by going back and playing GTA 5. Which was, let's be real, the best game in the series up to this point.
So,
So,
but people aren't just playing the game. They are
yeah,
they go into these role play servers and they kind of just even right now
live.
it's the second top category and it
Yeah.
the is under just chatting. So it's
Yeah.
literally the number one game right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all just people who are RP. They're all just pretending to be somebody in the game and they're like
Yeah.
having a goof with other people who are also role playing.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily like doing missions and stuff, which is cool. I mean, people found their own fun in the game. They also like develop a whole bunch of shit within like the servers and stuff. Like there's a huge like creator economy within GTA role playing. I'd be interested to see what they implement in GTA 6 to help with this, although maybe they won't. Maybe they won't even bother. I mean, also GTA 6 is not coming to PC. So
Right.
maybe it will be a lot harder to even roleplay without Rockstar's help.
Well, so far they've said nothing about GTA Online for GTA 6. But
True.
we know that has to be some sort of mode or feature to it because GTA Online is far and away the most successful part of GTA 5. So much so that they tried to do it in Red Dead Redemption 2 with nowhere near the same amount of success that GTA Online had. So it's definitely got to be there. In what form? Who knows?
It's still confusing to me why they aren't launching it on PC.
I think I think piracy is a matter.
That's
I
a
think
good
they're
point.
like really concerned that people are gonna pirate the game immediately. I think also too stability because like there's a million PCs and it has to like work on all different kinds, whereas consoles is just one spec
That's
per
true
each
too.
that's just my theory. I don't know, but that's the only thing I can think of as to why.
It sucks because I want to get it on PC. I don't want to get it
I
on
know.
console, but
A lot of people would want to get it on PC.
but I'll have to. The thing is, I don't want to buy it a second time. So
Yeah.
if I get it on console, I'm only playing it. Maybe I'll get it on Xbox just so that I could then get it on Game Pass if it comes to PC.
Yeah.
Maybe my save will move. I mean, these days we got to have cross save.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That was my big issue with Grand Theft Auto 5 was I played it on the PlayStation 3. It was at the end of the console life cycle. I played it, and then by the time Grand Theft Auto Online like came out, like months later, it relaunched on the PlayStation 4. And then all my friends rebought the game, and I was like, I'm not buying it again. And then they all played Grand Theft Auto Online, and then I didn't. So I would have played it if I still had it. Like I see these like you see like TikToks of like people like driving these cars over these like obstacle courses and stuff. I'm like, that actually looks pretty cool. It's like the brain rot like that's on the bottom of the screen while you watch a fucking Theo Von podcast or some shit. I want to do that. Like that looks fun, but I'm not booting up my PlayStation 3.
I don't even know if you could on PlayStation 3 because I think they shut down online for that generation.
True. Yeah, so I don't like the way that they handled that. Anyway, what else do we got? Capcom, Resident Evil 9 question mark?
Oh, are you ready for this?
I'm not at all.
In celebration of hitting a staggering 10 million players, the Resident Evil 4 dev team uploaded a short video to social media earlier today, April 25th, showing Ada Wong having a quiet quiet word with one of gaming's most iconic villains before cutting to Leon, the infected horde around him donning party hats as they mosey towards the church. Then it cuts to a rock song, Dr. Salvador strumming his chainsaw like a guitar. Yes, really. And the camera pans back to show a fist pumping Leon. Behind him is a rustic sign with the words "Thank you for playing" emblazoned across it. You turn that sign onto its side, however, and the boards on the sign make the Roman numeral IX, aka the number 9. So there you go, folks. That's it. That's all the evidence you need. Resident Evil 9 confirmed. It's coming out.
Where do I find this video?
It's on the Capcom Dev1 Twitter account. It's in the article.
Capcom Dev1 Twitter. Oh, I'm on the reader view, so.
Yeah.
Because I hate IGN. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Click.
It's a fun little goofy video for what it is. But like the evidence, like I don't like. Are you watching it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the evidence in the video that hints in massive quotes towards Resident Evil 9 is that the sign at the end is an X with a line underneath.
Wait, I gotta see the chainsaw guy playing guitar.
There it is.
That's so stupid. So I'm sorry. What is this? Is it here?
So you see that sign right there?
Yeah.
It says "Thank you for playing."
Uh-huh.
Now, if you flip it on its side, it's a 9.
This.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a X and an I. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's it. That's all the evidence that IGN has that Resident Evil 9 is coming.
I mean, didn't they do some bullshit like this with previous games? I mean, Village was like
no.
Well, Village was just a game called Village, and then they were like, "Psych, it's Resident Evil."
Well, Resident Evil 7 was a demo called The Kitchen, and then they said, "Oh, The Kitchen has evolved into Resident Evil 7 Biohazard." So there's that. But yeah, I like signs like that are all over the game in that like same shape.
Oh, okay. So it means nothing.
So it means nothing. Also,
I'm pretty sure I remember that exact area in Resident Evil 4, and that sign is just there.
Calculated collision, as they point out. If you flip it the other way, wouldn't it become 11?
Yes. So really, Resident Evil 11 is confirmed.
I have heard, like, I don't remember where I heard this or how long ago it was, but like I did hear somewhere that Capcom does want to like have an ending to the series, like a canonical storyline ending. Whether that's game 9 or game 10, I don't know, but I mean, maybe that is something they are thinking about. Maybe 9 will be the final game in the series.
They can't,
or at least the final game in the Ethan Winters trilogy.
Yeah, it'll be his like final game. They can't end Resident Evil because it's the biggest franchise that they have.
Yeah, they'll find a way to maybe not end it, but like reinvent it, because there's only so much you can do with the same characters like over and over again. Like
they successfully reinvented it once.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah,
they could do it again.
Yeah, no, they can keep reinventing it. I'm just thinking like from a storyline perspective, because like Chris has got to be in his 50s, Jill has got to be in her 50s. They're like, there's only so much you can do with those characters now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Batman. He should be 100 years old.
Yeah.
All right. Indiana Jones, PlayStation 5.
Yes, this is interesting. Xbox game Indiana Jones and the Great Circle came to the PS5 on April 17th, and it has a strong debut, it seemed. Tracking firm Circana reports that the game was the best-selling title in the US during its launch week. However, it did not come close to being one of the most played games on PlayStation 5. The Great Circle's debut on PS5 was the first time the game reached #1 on sales charts for a given week. It was not the #1 game when it released on Xbox and PlayStation. Xbox and PC.
Interesting.
Never hit Despite being the number one overall best-selling game of the week that ended on April 19th, Great Circle did not crack the top 15 most played charts for the US in the same week. What's the reason for that? Circana's Matt Piscatella said it may come down to the modern console environment being dominated by live service games. The big live service games are sucking the air out of the market, Piscatella said. On PlayStation and Xbox, Call of Duty HQ was the number one most popular game of the week based on weekly active users. In terms of Steam games, Marvel Rivals was number one in the US, Counter-Strike was number one in Canada, and Repo was number one in Mexico for the week.
Repo is
So
on
just
console?
because for Steam.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So yeah, that I wanted to put in because I wanted to highlight how it's fascinating to me that just because you had the best-selling game of the week, that does not mean you had the most played game of the week.
Yeah, but then give me
You
the
would think like
give me the metric without live service games then, because they didn't sell the live service game that week. You know, they're not making money
Yeah.
on the live service game at that time.
Well, you would think that like, you know, you buy I mean, we just talked about like you buy a game and you sit on it, but like a new game like that, you buy a game and you want to play it.
Yeah. It is very interesting that it sold a lot more on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's
I think, you know,
more
also
people
too-
have it, but that's really going to teach Microsoft that just launching their games on both consoles is probably going to be more beneficial to them.
Also too, like on Xbox, the PC was on Game Pass. So you didn't need to buy it. You could just subscribe to Game Pass
That's
for
a good
week,
point, too.
and that's it. Yeah.
I think Expedition 33 is a big game this week, and I think it's on Game Pass. So, like, Biscuits, our
Yeah.
friend Biscuits, bought it on... he didn't buy it. He just used Game Pass, and that's how he's been playing it on PC. So, I hope this shows them to just launch games on multiple consoles. It's fine. I don't think it's really that important to have exclusives. I think let everybody play the game.
But I do think there's something to what you said about like these metrics might need to be released with and without the live service games on there, because clearly that's skewing the numbers.
Yeah, let me know how far down the list it is. And show me the live everyone that they named. All the top 5 were all live service games. Like, they shouldn't count.
Yeah.
If you're gonna put it in the same article as Indiana Jones, which is a paid game, get those live service ones out of there.
Especially because like people play live service games for different reasons than they play, you know, single player only narrative games. They're two, not that they're different audiences, but like the reasons for playing them are very different.
I just want to double check that Expedition 33 is on Game Pass, because join Game Pass. Yep, it's on Game Pass. Because so is Elder Scrolls, the new old Elder Scrolls. What is it called?
Right.
Oblivion.
Yeah.
That's also Game Pass. So Game Pass is having a good time right now.
Yeah.
Got plenty of brand new AAA games to play. I am not interested in any of those. Next news: Sucker Punch has new Ghost of Yotei details.
Yotei.
Yote.
Is it Yotei or Yotei?
It is Yote. Yotei. Yote.
Okay. Sucker Punch has shared new Ghost of Yote details, including information about the game's non-linear campaign. The game's co-creators, co-creative directors Nate Fox and Jason Cornell have spoken to Famitsu, shedding light on the next game from Sucker Punch. The game will see players hunt down the Yotei 6, a group of warriors that have caused death and destruction across Japan. As the player hunts them down, a sash worn by protagonist Atsu will display the names of the Yotei 6 that she is pursuing. Players will be able to approach the Yotei 6 in any order, and the game will also introduce a new close combat weaponry. Both Japanese cinema and Western dramas have inspired the game. In terms of open world adventure, Ghosts of Yotei has the greatest freedom and biggest map of any open world game we have ever made, Fox told Famitsu. Ghosts of Yotei will be released on PS5 October 2nd, 2025.
Okay.
So So the article basically went into like, detail about like more so about like the inspiration for the game, visiting modern day Japan, like where Yotei is set, and like learning from it and studying all that. Um, they did go through the gameplay features, like it's going to be the biggest map they've ever done. It's going to be the most freedom ever given in a Sucker Punch game. But the big thing to come out of this was the release date of October 2nd, because everybody assumes that's when GTA 6 is coming out, like around that time.
Okay.
So here's Sucker Punch saying like, yeah, so
That is interesting. I mean, how
yeah.
far out of the way do people want to be from Grand Theft Auto? Like you don't want to release your game in the fall, this fall.
Yeah.
But they've been working on this game for years.
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do? Wait till next year? Like they got to release it.
Well, also this is another like big open world game, and like you're going to release it within proximity to the biggest open world game of all time.
Yeah.
They
can move it once Grand Theft Auto has their date. They can move this. Yeah. It's also possible Grand Theft Auto moves their date. Like I think it might be delayed again.
Yeah. I did. Well, it's not in the keep, but Borderlands 4 got moved up because now it's coming out early. It's coming out on September 12th. Mm-hmm. Borderlands is of course owned by Take-Two, which also owns Grand Theft Auto. So maybe they know something. Maybe they moved it up so that it's out of the GTA window. Get it in before, so people can get their Borderlands in before Grand Theft Auto comes out and everyone's time gets sucked up by that.
Yeah, they could do that. This sounds a lot like the Assassin's Creed we just got. Because you do have to like go after a group. I think it's like 11 or 12 samurai. In this it's just 6.
Yeah.
Hopefully this has a better story. I was not interested in what Assassin's Creed had to offer to me. So I mean I'm interested, but yeah, I liked the idea of the last Ghost of Tsushima game. I bought it and then never played it.
Yeah,
it was another backlog game.
I bought it on PS5, and it will be my next game if I ever finish Star Wars Outlaws.
Okay,
I promise myself that will be my next game.
I never even touched Indiana Jones. I opened it up, played the beginning on like 5 different consoles, and then I never touched it again. Assassin's Creed I played for like a good like 10 hours, and I just am not interested at all.
You gotta do the intro of Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. Obviously. You gotta suffer through the next section, which is Marshall College, which is not long, but once you do, you then go to the Vatican, and that's when it becomes.
That's when you kill the Pope.
That's when you kill the Pope. Yes, it's a JD Vance simulator. No, it's actually like, you start to realize like, oh, this is why everyone loves this game so much. Just the freedom and like the cleverness of the gameplay design is like all in the Vatican.
Okay.
It doesn't take that long to get to. You gotta stick with it for like an hour or 2.
I have it downloaded on like 4 different things.
Yeah, so pick one and go for it.
I also need to finish Star Wars Outlaws because I'm finally on Tatooine and I just never did anything about it. Okay, Microsoft. 3 new controllers?
Possibly, probably. According to Jez Corden on the most recent episode of the Xbox 2 podcast, Xbox is working on 3 controller prototypes for the future release. From what I've heard over the last few months, there are 3 prototypes for the controller, Corden said. From what I can tell, one of them is sort of like a basic, cheaper controller, like the standard one we have now, with some next-gen enhancements, whatever those are. Corden then continued saying that there would be a mid-range style controller, as well as an elite, or proper Elite Series 3 controller from Xbox. While he doesn't have the full features of the controller, Corden believes a high-end controller will have a direct-to-cloud Wi-Fi connection that allows connection via Wi-Fi instead of Bluetooth. The goal here is to eliminate any lag that comes from Bluetooth connections. He added that it will have a switch to switch the controller between cloud and PC console mode. As far as an announcement for the new controllers, Corden doesn't know when that will happen. He says that he thinks it will be announced next year or alongside a next gen Xbox. He also wanted to make it clear that he didn't believe he had enough info on the possible features, pricing, or release date of the controllers for a full report, but if there was enough to bring it up during the show.
I like the sound of this. I'd imagine this would be for the next console, because the controller we have now is from the last generation. It's like not any different at all. So people I could see already, Cass in the chat is already very confused about the cloud integration. So I like that idea a lot. Having the controller connect directly to your router gives you a much faster connection to your cloud game. So if you're cloud streaming from Xbox cloud streaming or whatever, it's what Google Stadia did. Their controller connected straight to your router. It's a great idea. I like that a lot. It's at least different. Bluetooth is maybe the worst way to have a controller connect. Some consoles are fine, like the Switch connects through Bluetooth and it's more or less fine, but 2.4 gigahertz band, Xbox has their own proprietary thing that is just essentially a 2.4 gigahertz band, and then now having a Wi-Fi connection is even better for specifically cloud streaming. Having 3 different controllers, I'm a little concerned, but it would be really, really cool if the first one was like a super cheap one, because right now controllers are expensive. The PlayStation and Xbox first party controllers are like what, $70, and like for what?
I know. Like I know there's a lot of tech in the DualSense, but like at a certain point, like DualShock 4s are still $60 for some reason.
Yeah, there's no reason for that. Same thing with the Pro controller. Give me one without the like crazy vibration motor. Like give me one that's essentially a third party that's like $40. Give me like a $40 option. That would be really cool. I don't think that's what's happening here, but that would be cool. Then give me one with some more bells and whistles. Maybe that'll be like the one that's packed in with the console, something that's like $70 or $80 that has a little more going on with it. I would like to see the 2.4 gigahertz, or I'm sorry, I would like to see the cloud option be in the mid-range one, but it sounds like it's only in the Elite one. And then they're saying there's like a super duper Elite 3 controller, and that one's going to be like $200. So
I mean, the cloud option probably should be in the mid-range option, because like if you want Game Pass to be your, you know, your Xbox everywhere thing, having a cheaper controller that has access to both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi would make the most business sense. Otherwise, you're once again adding another barrier to people to getting to Game Pass. You already have to have an account. You have to have a device that supports it. Now you need to make sure you have the right controller, and you want that controller to be as inexpensive as possible.
I think having a cloud option as like the mid-range, like that'd be a great, you buy that, it'd be a great entry point. Like if you have a TV that can do Game Pass, like a smart TV, you don't want to connect your fucking controller to that TV. That's going to be a nightmare. Connecting your controller to your router and then just using the TV as like basically a video streaming device. That sounds really appealing. And then people can just buy the mid-range option, and it's a great entry point into Game Pass. If you have to buy the fucking $200 Elite Series 3, no one's going to do that. That's not going to be a good entry point into Game Pass. That being said, Elite Series 3 sounds good. The Elite controller, I think, is the best controller that is available, and it's been out for how many years, and still nothing beats it. But it is very expensive. So, Bob, are any of these controllers getting gyro controls? That's a very good point. So, Edward Bova says in the chat. Xbox is the only one.
Xbox is the only one.
Yeah, that doesn't have gyro at all, and it's a little annoying. When you like I noticed this on my handhelds when I'm running like Bazite or some shit. I like having motion controls, and the only way to do it is if you emulate a PlayStation controller, because usually these controllers emulate Xbox controllers, but you can't do that because there's no way to have gyro controls. So maybe the Elite would, maybe the mid-range one would. That would make sense if the mid-range one had gyro controls and that's packed in with the next Xbox, and then the cheap one doesn't have gyro controls. That would make a lot of sense. But I don't really trust Microsoft to price these in a reasonable way. I think that they're going to do some weird shit and it's going to be confusing. But I just get 8-bit do. Yeah, 8-bit do is the best if money is like if you're thinking about in terms of value. Like the money is, you get a lot for an 8-bit do Elite controller or an 8-bit do Ultimate.
But the problem with the 8-bit do control, this is not 8-bit do's fault, but like because they make Xbox branded controllers, but if you want to use them on your Xbox, they only work over a wired connection because Microsoft has a proprietary wireless signal for the controller to communicate with the console.
That is
and the
annoying.
only people they've ever given that tech to is Rock Band, for the guitars.
I will say though, my 8-bit do controller, I always use the dongle, and it's great. You can plug the dock directly into your console, and the dongle is in the dock, and it's a faster, better connection than what you would get otherwise. Anyway, related, this, I didn't put this in the keep, but I did want to talk about it because we love talking about tariffs. 8-bit do is no longer shipping to the US from China. So
gasp.
They released a statement. Where is the quote? Game peripheral company 8-bit do is suspending shipments from the Chinese warehouse to the United States based customers. Per a notice on his website. Let's read the... Okay. They do not... This is a lie. They do not have a notice on their website.
Yeah, I'm looking... I go to Press and News, and it's just listing a whole bunch of controllers.
Temporary pause on shipments to the U.S. is due to the Trump administration's new 145% tariffs on imports from China, as well as its decision to end de minimis exemptions from shipments from China under $800. Wait, under $800?
Yeah, that's a de minimis.
Okay, so if I spent more than $800, I would still get knocked with a 145% tariff.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I was getting hit with the PCB tariff, I was trying anything I could. And I was trying to change the quantity to see like what would happen, and nothing worked. The tariffs are already forcing the video game and tabletop industry into a panic, with several other companies like gaming handheld maker Anbernic ceasing shipments to the U.S. too. U.S. customers can still order controllers, mice, and other peripherals that are already at the company's U.S. warehouse. There doesn't appear to be any way to tell what's available at the U.S. warehouse on the website itself, but the checkout page, after inputting an address, will display what products in the cart can be shipped to the U.S. That is unfortunate. It seems like a lot.
Yeah.
They have... Polygon did some digging here. 8-bit do retro mechanical keyboard, the Commodore 64 edition, the mod kit for the N64 controller, the Ultimate Mini wired controller, Ultimate 2 Bluetooth controller. Buy these things off of Amazon if you can. But once we're done with whatever's in America, we're gonna have to get them from somewhere, and these people are gonna have to start to figure out what the fuck to do.
Yeah,
and me included. Last bit of news: new skate game requires an always online connection, but of course it does. It's an online game.
Yeah, so EA released a blog post called The Grind Volume 1. It's basically their little update on like what's happening with their skate reboot. They confirmed when they announced it was going to be a live service game, but people were wondering if there's going to be some way to play this game offline. And they said point blank, the simple answer, no. The game and city are designed to be a living, breathing, massively multiplayer skateboarding sandbox that is always online and always evolving. You'll see bigger things evolve, like changes to the city over time, as well as smaller things like live events and other in-game activities. In order to deliver on our vision of a skateboarding world, the game will always require a live connection. That is probably not much of a surprise if you've been in our playtest.
So I am not completely against the idea of making Skate a live service game. It is a little disappointing that there is nothing to do if you don't have an internet connection, if you drop out in some way. But I don't hate the idea. Go on.
Well, the last, the 3 Skate games that came out were not live service games. They were traditional single player multiplayer video games, and there hasn't been a new Skate since Skate 3 on the Xbox 360. So people have been waiting for a new Skate game. They want it to come out, and they're re-releasing it in this version that is not anywhere close to what it was back when they originally enjoyed it. And that's especially disappointing considering Activision did such a good job with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, giving you the exact game you wanted, just in a new coat of paint. That's what people want. They want the Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 treatment for Skate.
Yeah, but I think that Skate is a good candidate for a game that is just the same but updated, like, over time,
Yeah.
And that's why I think live service makes a little bit of sense. I also think it'd be really cool to just have a bunch of other skaters just in the game with you. You're basically in like a public skate park. I think that sounds pretty cool. But that being said, you should be able to just roam around offline. Like, there's no reason not to.
Yeah, like something, anything.
Yeah. I also think Grand Theft Auto is kind of a good candidate for just having an online game.
Yeah,
that's just updated over time.
Grand Theft Auto is one of those like games that like the appeal of it is still like the single player campaign,
They do stand to make a fuck ton of money every time they release one, so it does make a little bit of sense. Will, do you have a game fact? We forgot about the game fact.
I have one.
Game fact.
All right, did you
Yeah, I did it.
I was all right, okay. Hi, everyone. It's game fact time. Bits. Do you all remember bits? When video games used to be judged by bits?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, you had your 8-bit, your 16-bit, your 32-bit, 64-bit. Those referred to the CPUs of the console. So, for example, the Sega Genesis, 16-bit system, Nintendo 64, 64-bit system, and they'd always double over time for the next system. The last 2 video game systems that were made bits like a big deal were the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2. Those are both 128-bit systems, and those are the last 2 to follow the pattern of doubling your CPU bits. Because the GameCube and the original Xbox actually had 32-bit processors. But thanks to their graphics cards and their extra RAM and whatnot, they put out more powerful machines than the PlayStation 2.
So they were less bits, but that was bad for marketing. So they just said, don't worry about bits anymore. We got something better.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, bits stopped being prominent marketing. Even like the PlayStation 2 didn't market itself as having a 128-bit system. It just happened to have a 128-bit system. The Dreamcast was really the last system to like hinge its marketing on that.
Mm-hmm.
But the PlayStation 2 was the last 128-bit system, the last system to like where bits mattered, I guess you could say.
Now you know what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's all about them T-flops.
Yeah.
Now we're measuring T-flops.
Yep.
That's your game fact.
Yeah.
Okay. And last news. I'm sorry. It's this.
Word of the week! Word of the week! Word of the week!
This is from Jet Ski, and it says the Papal Conclave has now entered the talent portion of the competition, and it is a some sort of minister playing the drums. He's pretty damn good. Bless his soul. That's it.
There you go.
All right, now we'll talk to you guys.
Yes, let's start with people who have comments on last week's WULFF Den Podcast over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/WULFF Den Podcast.
I have to move you if I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
I'll just hover you. The biggest this is from Maka from last week. The biggest thing those commercials proved to me was how much Nintendo missed the mark not naming the Switch 2 the Super Switch. Still a cool nod though. I want it to be called the Super Switch, but the Switch 2 also makes sense.
Yeah, I think in this day and age, like calling it the Switch 2 is like a much more of a clear indication that like it's the next system, whereas the Super Switch kind of makes it sound like an updated, like just a mildly updated version, like the Pro version rather than like the next version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nintendo explained it. They said that Super Switch didn't have enough of a next generation like connotation.
Yeah,
but it kind of is just the Super. It's just the Switch, but Super.
yeah.
So I think it would have also made sense. But Switch 2, they're fine. They're both fine. What do we got? Odd Assembler says the only two New Yorkers I find attractive.
That's because we're Long Islanders.
Yeah, we're not real New Yorkers. I didn't know where that sentence was going. Oh, we'll bring this up. Speaking of New York.
Okay.
I don't even know if you're gonna have the answers for me, but Hannah had a little pizza party at work. She works in Manhattan.
Okay.
She had a slice of pizza that was a square, it was thick, and it was only tomato sauce. And I said, that is a grandma slice, and that is a New York grandma slice. I think a grandma slice here is cheese and then sauce on top.
Yeah, there's definitely like a difference in like, because I've been to many pizzerias and a grandma slice is like different.
It's different in a lot of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's cheese on. Yeah, Long Island. Oh, I typed in Long Island. According to Google's AI, Long Island grandma slice is a rectangular thin crust pizza, typically square in shape with cheese and tomato sauce.
Okay.
All right, what about Manhattan? Nope. Not specific enough. I know that some places they only do sauce.
It was a Sicilian slice with just sauce on it, no cheese.
With just yes.
Yes. Okay.
Grandma slice to me is the rectangular ones, like if you went to grandma's and she
slice that's just sauce on top with no cheese. Is that a grandma slice or is that something? It can be. Okay, it depends on the place.
Okay. Y'all have gross grandmas. No, you fuck you. Okay.
Okay, you don't talk about my grandma like that.
Sauce on top is a Detroit thing. Okay. Yeah. Grandma slice to me is the rectangular ones, like if you went to grandma's and she just threw a pan in the oven. Yeah. I think that in some places there is no cheese, in some places there is cheese. Maybe the cheese on the bottom is wrong. Maybe I just made that up because there are some grandma slices here that have it's just a lot of sauce. Like there's cheese, but there's a lot of sauce. And some places make the crust really thin on a grandma slice, and some places have a big fat Sicilian bready, doughy bottom.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. That was your pizza corner. Nero Vingian says, yeah, a console doesn't really need a killer launch title. It helps a lot, but it isn't mandatory for success. The thing we have to remember here is that only hardcore Nintendo fans will buy the new console right now. Most other people will wait until the holiday season at the end of the year, and by that time, a lot more titles will have come out. Yeah, so I was telling this to Jackson in his stream the other day. Most people aren't buying the game when it first comes out. There's gonna be a lot of people who buy this game at launch, or who buy the system at launch, but most people it's gonna trickle out to them, and the holidays will start seeing a lot of people with this thing in their hands. Like, I'm expecting to do like Mario Kart streams, because there's 24 people that could be in a server, so like doing streams with like a bunch of viewers sounds really cool. But then you remember not a lot of people are going to even have it that first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're right. I mean, video game launches, system launches is really just to get your hands on the system, and even then, it's for early adopters or like the hardcore. The PlayStation 2, greatest console of all time, shitty launch. N64, also great console, had 2 games. And that's it, and people only bought one of them. So, yeah, the system's launch is rarely, I think, indicative of how the life cycle of the console will play out in the long run.
Notably, like when the Switch 1 first came out, people would watch my videos, and most of them didn't own it. They just liked learning about it in the hopes that eventually they will buy one. Your wife texted us and said, what is this? What website? Allrecipes.com. Notable for its distinctly thin crust. Grandma pizza is cooked in olive oil coated rectangular pan and topped with mozzarella, cheese, and tomato sauce. Now, this is what I was talking about. Some places it's thin crust.
Well, if you keep reading, the sauce is typically layered over the cheese, not the other way around. That's the distinction.
I think that there's just a lot of different types of grandmas, because we already, from the baseline, some are thick and some are thin. Some are sauce and some are cheese and sauce.
Yes.
And then sometimes they put the cheese on the bottom, and I'm pretty sure there's some places over here that put the cheese on the top.
Yeah.
So no one knows what a grandma slice is. I'll tell you later, but there is the originator of the grandma slice. I think it's in Queens.
Okay.
We can go. We can go to the original grandma.
Yeah.
Anyway, last thing from last week. Ty says, howdy boys. Just picked up an Olympus OMD EM10 with the kit lens as my first big boy starter camera. I want to mainly do landscapes and maybe tinker with night sky photography as well. Any lens and filter suggestions? Hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Unfortunately, I know very little about Olympus cameras. I don't know anybody who has one. I never even hear anything about Olympus cameras, except I have a friend whose dad repaired them. So I can't help you at all. Filters, get a Pro Mist. I like Pro Mist filters, but I don't think I can help you at all with Olympus cameras. Good luck.
Yeah.
Get something with a low f-stop and hope for the best. All right, now we're in the chats real quick.
Make it good.
Make it good. Did you watch the Donkey Switch 2 video? I did. I was nervous. So Donkey was like trashing on some YouTuber who was saying that the Switch 2 was like stupid or something. And then he randomly in the middle of it showed a Spawn Wave thumbnail like on screen. I guess it was supposed to showcase like how everybody's mad about the price. But yeah, you don't want a big YouTuber like that coming after you. Like this poor guy that like made some video. He's only got like 50,000 subscribers or something. And now he's got like this 6 million subscriber channel like dunking on him.
Yeah.
Switch 2 seemingly supports low latency Bluetooth audio if audio device supports Bluetooth 5.2, says Edward Bova. Thank God, because the Switch 1 did support Bluetooth audio, but not at launch. It took like 3 years.
Yeah. It's one of the weirdest decisions of that system.
Yeah, it was. I don't understand. Also, there seems to be voice chat directly on the console, so that's good.
Well, yeah, because it's a social console now.
EPS 5000 is one of the places I went. Wait, is EPS 5000 the robot from Sonic Adventure?
No. I was going to say Ed 209, but that's RoboCop.
EPS 5000 is a Behringer speaker. Anyway, one of the places I went to confused a grandma pizza with a white pizza. That is the opposite of a grandma slice.
Oh, God.
And refused to believe me that they are two different things. Hannah had a white slice here on Long Island, and it fucking blew her whole world apart.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
Yeah, no, she like that's her jam now.
E102 Gamma is the robot from Sonic
E102
Adventure.
Gamma. Okay, good. Costco will have Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle launch day with Switch Online and expansion for 1 year. From what some employees were hearing from their general managers, it should be $500. So you get a free year of Oh, it's on Costco's website already.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it says 1 year of Nintendo Switch Online. However, there's no price, but employees are saying it's going to be $500. That's crazy.
Available for purchase on June 5th. So it's not going to go off for pre-order. It's just going to be on sale.
A mad dash to go to Costco.
Yeah.
It's a good deal, but good luck getting one. That's going to be hell. Anyway. I was lucky enough to get my Switch 2 from Walmart. I didn't get the bundle edition because I am torn between going all physical or digital this run. It is digital, right? It's not physical, right?
I think it is, yeah.
Every time they do a pack-in game, it's digital now, right?
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it is physical. Okay. What did I miss? You missed literally everything.
Yeah, we're not doing it again.
Have you seen the atrocity of an Altoona style pizza? I have. Have you, Will?
No.
It you know what? Google it right now.
Altoona?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess I'll do it because then people will see it. It is an abomination. It looks like a school pizza with just a slice of American cheese on top.
Oh, I hate this.
Yeah, you love cheese.
I hate this. Oh, I hope these people go to jail.
Nothing good happens in Altoona.
Altoona, Pennsylvania. I will never go there.
Ohio Valley style pizza. What? Okay, well, this is just like an Elio's pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just Elio's. Style of pizza with cold toppings sprinkled over square crust. Okay, so hold on. Let's back up a little bit. There's a place in Huntington, Little Vincent's. They do just a regular slice of pizza, and then they throw cold mozzarella cheese on top, and it fucking rules. So I don't want to take too much away from them. Cold, not like freezing cold, but like room temperature mozzarella. They just throw it on top, and you eat it quick because it like melts like a little bit.
Yeah,
it's good. Peak pizza right here. All right, now we're pizza guys. All right, this is the school pizza. This is just the school pizza.
Yeah.
DeCarlo's does not represent all of the Ohio Valley. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to Ohio for pizza, and you can't get me to change my mind on that. I got my pre-order from Target. I went for the non-bundle because I figured most people were going bundle. I got through and checked out within 3 minutes. I was going back and forth. I kind of wanted to do the non-bundle because I thought I'd have more of a chance, but Nintendo confirmed that they made less non-bundles. And even like the GameStops had less non-bundles than they had bundles. So I don't think that they counted accurately. Like, I'm sure that there were still more people than they were expecting who wanted regular bundles. But I had the bundle on my computer and I had the regular one on my phone, and I was in the queue for both of them. And the one for the bundle popped first, so I got that one.
Well, I think like if you're gonna get a next gen system, like obviously you want a game with it, and
Yeah,
might as well get the one that comes with the game for $50 more, as opposed to buying that game separately for $100 possibly.
yeah. I mean, I want the game, but I could see why somebody wouldn't want the game. But that's the game. Like, if you're buying it at launch, that's the only Switch 2 game. Like, you can get like you can upgrade your friggin' Zelda or whatever, but like the only game to show off your cool new console is Mario Kart. So if you're buying it at launch, you're gonna want that. I wouldn't be surprised if they just get rid of the bundle within a few months.
Well, I think the bundle is supposed to be a limited time thing.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a Donkey Kong one eventually.
Yeah.
That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for chatting with us. As always, the WULFF DEN Podcast is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/WULFFDEN or youtube.com/WULFFDEN Podcast. If you can't make the show for any reason at all, we always put the archive version over up on youtube.com/WULFFDEN Podcast. So you can go and check us out over there on demand whenever you want. If you prefer to listen to us rather than watch us, you can do that as well, because we're also an audio podcast on any and every podcast service, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, Audible.com, Pocket Casts. No matter where you get the show from, folks, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us, because that also has placement on all those respective platforms.
Anthony Mille gave us $2 at the last hour and said, did you guys go over the new Switch update? No, I didn't even know there was one. Stability?
Firmware 20 came out. No, that's the one with the virtual game cards.
Oh, I gotta try that.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm gonna have a busy night. Go say hello to AJ. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.